Hello, welcome to Pumpkin Canine Fashions. I have paw-picked my new line of dog beds. Each one delivers bold, stylish looks that make your pup stand out from the pack. With thoughtfully designed apparel and accessories, my people bring personality and flair to every tail wag. Go ahead, treat your pup to one today. Order now at pumpkincaninefashion.com. That's pumpkincaninefashion.com.
Hello, world. This is Talkin Live, and I'm ready to talk.
Now, let's get ready. You are Talkin Live with Lamar Bearden.
Well, wasn't it a wonderful weekend? We found out that riots and, demonstrations was democracy. I hate to see Adam Schiff and that other guy. Here's a man getting up there. See, we got Democratic Congresswomen, congressmen getting up there and starting all this stuff because Trump's in office. See, that's what it's all about. Democracy don't mean nothing to them. If democracy was on their mind, they wouldn't be trying to split the country and turn one another against the other. That is what I can't understand, how they can get up there with a straight face and talk about democracy. Well, we was losing our democracy when Biden was in office. We started losing our democracy when Obama got in office. We started losing our freedom and our rights to speech. Now, you talk about the protesters that the king and all that. We know he's not the king. He knows he's not the king. But you want to be the king. See, you Democrats, you want to be the king. That's the problem. You're wanting to be the king. You can't stand the fact that you can't give away money. That's why you want to shut the government down. You can't stand the fact that you're getting stopped from wasting money, taxpayers' money. Is the way I understand it, it's $1 trillion and one money for Medicaid and to give money to the migrants. What about these soldiers that are struggling? They're on the streets because they can't get nowhere. Why don't you give that to them that fought and lost arms and limbs for this freedom we have here? But you don't believe in freedom. The only freedom you believe in is freedom to rule. That's all you have in your mind. Democracy don't mean one thing to you. I want you to know, you too, I'm going to be on this TV station as long as I can. And if you don't want to let my programming go on, I see you're shadowing it or whatever you call it, blindsiding, shadow banning. I can see you're doing that to my TV channel, YouTube channel, because you're just like the ones that are marching. You're just like the ones up in Congress, Democratic Congress and Senate. You're just like them. You don't believe in freedom. You don't believe in the Bible. You don't believe in, and I heard this weekend on Fox News, they're shutting down 15,000 churches. Now, what do you think the reason is? The churches have forsaken God, and that's why we're in chaos. That's why we're in a situation. These false prophets getting up there telling you lies, trying to collect money from you, sow a seed, and all this kind of stuff. And see, that's what you Democrats like. Don't you know that when the real time comes, that when the Democrats ever get into office again, that it was going to be destroyed. This country will be completely destroyed. It's on its way right now. And you know why it's on its way? Because we got people out there, old people, young people out there walking and talking about Donald Trump king. Well, you know what y'all said to us Republicans, you Democrats, when Biden got in there? He got elected. You just got to live with it. Well, you got to live with Trump. You got to live with that. You want to start a civil war. That's what you want to do. First is to free the African-American people, which I'm all for. Now it's to free and take care of the whole world that come across the border. You're fighting to destroy this country and because you want people in here to get their vote. You don't give a crap. Now, I done a show, Puppets on the String. I got 3 viewers. I'm probably one of them that I watched. And maybe one of my relatives. Now, YouTube, I was doing 1,000 subscribers a month. I got 21,000 people watching my programs in a week. I got nearly 700,000 views. And you're going to tell me that I'm not getting the subscribers, I'm not getting the views. You shadow banned me. You bought me out because I tell the truth. And I got news for you. The truth's going to stand when you're done burning in hell. Because that's where you're heading. You don't believe in God. You don't promote nothing to bring peace out of the Bible. You too. You don't promote one thing to bring peace. And you want to cut somebody off because they tell the truth and want peace. Just like I said the other day, we talked about the peace treaty with Hamas and Israel. I know it ain't going to last. It ain't going to last. Too much hate. There's too much hate for it to last. It's not going to last. Hamas is over killing those innocent Palestinians. You know, if you thought today that Russia was going to send nuclear weapons to this country, that includes you, Google. You might have a place under the ground to hide, or you two, you guys that manage the channels, you might have a place to hide. But after they hear you, there's no more nothing. And you'd rather see that than somebody tell the truth and try to tell people. Like Charlie Kirk. He told people the truth. That's why he was hated so much. If I get hated for the gospel of Jesus Christ, I'm fine with that. But if I get hated because we got so many demons, unbelievers, marching on the streets today, and you, the Democratic Party, are the head of this. That's why Charlie Kirk got killed. That's why they tried to kill and tell everybody that they wanted Donald Trump dead. He was in a line of fire because you media, you let everybody hear what you got to say about Donald Trump. But the truth is, it's you, Democrats, that wants to destroy democracy. God have mercy on America if you ever get back in office. You people don't realize that marching, you should be at home with your family, or you should be, you old people, out there marching. hadn't you learned anything in the last 75, 80 years? How the government works? It works for them. It works for the Democratic Party. And somebody wants to straighten it out. You want to destroy it. You mayor up in Chicago, New York, all you big cities. Donald Trump's put a damper on all the crime that's going on. You call him a criminal. But you want to take up for the criminal. You want to take the money that you should be giving to the veterans. And Veterans Day is coming up. But you should take that $1 trillion that you're blowing on foreigners and spend it on the veterans, get them a home. Have them access to a home that when they got their legs blowed off and their eyes knocked out, their face burned up. That money should go to them and the taxpayers of America. And you call it racist because we don't want to be invaded by foreign countries and all these different people. You call it racist. To us, you call it racist, but to you, it's a vote. It's a vote. That's what it's all about. And Adam Schiff and all of them talk about democracy, and they don't even know the word right and wrong. They don't want, and this Crockett, she's a ghetto woman in office. Yeah. Sound more like hillbilly, don't I? Well, I just don't know what we was going to do because we're so put down because we're black. You got a high office, and a lot of you in office. What are you talking about? Racism. Wasn't for the whites, you wouldn't be in office. They voted for you. They got you in there. AOC, you come from Puerto Rico. Well, your family did. You was born in America, New York. You don't belong in Congress. You don't belong nowhere except back in the bar, serving tequila, maybe. Long Island teas. Oh, yeah, I drank a lot of that stuff. I want you to know that I'm for America's freedom. I'm for America. I'm for the poor man that works his tail off, 4 or 5, 2 or 3 jobs that can't make ends meet. I'm for the people that are older, that can't help themselves, that they should be some kind of program and they should receive more food stamps. They should receive more Social Security. That's what I'm for. I'm still able to get around this. I don't know how much longer, but as long as I can talk, though, I'll be all right. But I want you to know, you're marching for your own destruction. That's what you're marching for. There'll be another president that'll come along. He won't please you either. The time lasts. And all you that hold the media in your hand, all of you, all you news reporters and all that, it'll come home to you. You better believe it will. I mean, there's a lot of our House of Representatives, they have had their self robbed, but yet they want to take up for criminals. This man that's a governor over Illinois, he's got millions of dollars. He don't give a crap about your you get robbed or you get killed, or your daughter get raped, or you don't care. He just hates Donald Trump. There ain't one of these suckers in the blue states cares about you. And you get out there and you march and you go on and you try to make an issue out of one little thing that don't mean nothing. One day you might pray that God will send another Donald Trump to you. I don't agree with everything he does. But you elected him. He got elected. I know you Democrats didn't. A lot of you probably voted for him, but you're ashamed of yourself for really being a good American. So you don't play like you're a Democrat, but inside you got a Republican idea that you'd rather have him, that you're just going along with the crowd. Oh yeah, you're just going along with the crowd. You don't know, like when Charlie Kirk would go to these colleges and talk to them, and they're just going along with the crowd. They don't know what the crap they don't know what's coming. They don't know what's going or what's coming. You out there marching on the streets and for a worthless cause. A worthless cause. Don't you know the Democrat Party is holding up your paycheck if you work for the government, or are holding out to get their $1 trillion to give to another bunch of people that's never worked a day in their life. You people living on these fixed incomes. What I draw, I couldn't live on it. I can't even feed my dogs no one I draw. Hardly. And my cats. I spend $200 or $300 well, let's make it 5 or 6 on my dogs and cats. Wouldn't I be in bad shape if I didn't have my own business? I spend money here to pay the bills here. I know people's getting short of money today, and I'd like for you to go to our website, and, Pumpkin's got a big Christmas sale coming up, and I do too. Get you a good deal. And especially your puppy, because they're more important to Democrats anyway. As they call people animals. Donald Trump said they was animals. You better look up animals, because animals are better than people. I used to have monkeys, and I'd rather one of them run for president than you Democrats. I did have some capuchin monkeys, squirrel monkeys. No, not squirrel. Yeah, squirrel monkeys. And I'd rather have them in office in Congress than have what we got right now. At least they're not hypocrites. They're hypocrites. Of course, you don't even know what a hypocrite is. In the first chapter of Romans, tomorrow I'll read you what a hypocrite is. I'll read you what you're doing. You're bringing the end of time on us. You're fulfilling the Bible. That's what you're doing. You're marching for the things that are wrong. We can't have a nation that loves our president, everybody care for him, but we have to accept him. Like you Democrats said, we had to accept Biden. Well, what did we accept? A man that couldn't even walk without falling down because he's old. I fell 2 or 3 times. I understand that part, and I feel sorry for him in that way of speaking. But Biden is nothing but another dictator, is what we had. And you call Donald Trump a dictator. Would you open your doors and your house if the Russians come over here in ships? Would you open the doors? See, these Democrats living in mansions, they don't open the doors. Google, you got all the money, and Facebook and all of you got all the money, you think your money is going to pay you way out of dying, but it ain't. Your day will come just like mine and everybody else. As you go before God, you're going to stand before God, Democrats, and you're going to say you've done the Lord's will by murdering babies? Or are you going to say that you've done the Lord's will by starving the American people from what they deserve and are veterans? You think God's going to excuse you for that? If you put that Democrat vote down, and because of that vote, you're voting for murder. You're voting for murder. Now, the Bible said, thou shalt not kill. Now, I'm sure he was not talking about babies. But he said in there that we are murderers if we have hate in our heart. You're a murderer. The doctor's a murderer. The woman's a murderer. Anybody connected with the death of a baby is a murderer. You're not going to get to heaven that way. And you know, they said 15,000 churches shut down. Well, you don't have nothing to go. I mean, there's some good churches, but I'm saying, you got to offer them as a hot dog, party, this and that, Halloween, all that. You ain't got nothing to offer. A sinner wants peace. You don't want no hot dog, hamburger. It's good to socialize together, but there's more people in churches today looking forward to Halloween to have a party. And you grown-ups, man, you act like a bunch of idiots. You get out there and you dress up. I dress up like a parrot, see? A parrot, not a parrot, a parrot. I dressed up like a parrot, and I went out because my wife insisted on it. But I thought it was the stupidest thing I ever seen in my life. A grown man dressing up and getting out there and doing things, walk around and go to parties and drink and stuff like that. It's about the dumbest thing I ever seen. I'm going to tell you something, I had a lot of parties. But I'm going to tell you something, world, this party's over. God's had enough of your unbelief. God's had enough of your murdering babies and you taking lives, innocent lives. He's had enough. And you marching, you better get on your knees instead of start protesting. You Democrats that you're in Congress, you need to get on your knees too. I've been a drunkard. I've been a lot of things. But I got fed up with that kind of life and I left it. You movie stars, all of you out there, you think your money, all you got's gonna matter when you die? Your money ain't gonna mean nothing. All the money you give to charity, all that money ain't gonna mean one thing. The most important thing you've got in your whole body is your soul. And it don't belong to nobody else but you. And one day, it's going up or down. I hope that people would turn away from what they're doing today, but it can't happen. You know why it can't happen? Because the Bible said it was going to happen. God never lied, never will lie. It's going to happen. America is going to be turned to hell like you've never seen before. And you Democrats are the agitators. You are the agitators and the starting of the end of this country. I'm going to make this an air show. You all right? Play some of that stuff that we got.
Looks like.
This is what democracy 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 looks like.
Well, if you're what democracy looks like, you look like hell. That ain't no bad word. You got a watermelon head and a bald head hollering, "This is what democracy's all about. This is what it's all about." You're two idiots. That's what you are. And you don't care about nobody but your party, which is going to destroy America. That's what you want. You don't want to have democracy. You're liars. You two, you don't want the truth. You want to run my show, and I know good and well that I should have 1,000 on the shows in the last 3 days. I've usually had 1,000, 1,300, 2,700 views on the same shows. But you're blocking me. You're taking away my freedom of speech. I ain't starting no. If you want to do something, get on there and tell America quit marching and start doing something for America. Didn't John Kennedy say it one time? Not what the government can do for you, but what you can do for our country. Something similar to that, wasn't it? See, but you're depending on the government to do things for you. You're sitting back, maybe drinking old Milwaukee, eating tater chips, smoking a doobie, and you're afraid you're going to lose it. If you work so hard as you do against Donald Trump, this country would be a great country again. You hate the man for what he's doing. What is he doing? Now we got James up there. She went and brought him up and said he 85 criminal cases. He's a felon. Well, you should like him. You like felons. If Donald Trump's a felon, you should like him, 'cause you like felons. You like criminals. You ought to be glad you got this big criminal in the White House. You know, they always say when you point that finger, there's 3 looking back at you. That's what you do, Democrats. You talk about Donald Trump, what he does, but you are guilty of worse things than what he did. You try to justify murdering babies. You try to justify blocking the truth. You try to pump people's head full of stuff that's lies. How much did they lose when Donald Trump made those deals in New York? Nothing. That didn't. He ain't no criminal. Nobody filed charges. Nobody except the woman that said she was out to get, if she'd get elected, she'd go after Donald Trump. That's the only one. She made it a vendetta to go after Donald Trump, and that's the best she could do. And say he frauded the banks. The banks didn't say he frauded him. Who did he fraud? I bought a building down at Dalton, Georgia, and I paid $550,000 for it. And this is a while back. and I put it up for sale for $1 million. Did I fraud the people that bought it? It was worth $1 million. After I kept it a few year or two, it's worth $1 million. I didn't fraud nobody. The bank knows what I was doing. I didn't hide nothing from the bank. So how can that be fraud? See, you people out there that you go against Donald Trump because the media say he's a criminal. I'm going to tell you something. Hollywood, Weinstein, a lot of those people that are accused of the same thing that Donald Trump's accused of. But a lot of them women are lying out their teeth. They didn't. Now, I ain't saying some of them did. They was playing their flaunting that body around to try to get in the movies and get to be a big star. That's why they give it up. Why didn't you get Hugh Hefner for raping all them women he had in them houses? It's Playboy house. There's all kind of women in it. How come you didn't get him for rape? All them women was voluntary being there because they wanted to get on a Playboy book. They wanted to get in that Playboy. They give it up to a lot of people too because they wanted to get famous. They wanted to be in the Playboy book. And that's why, and then I talked to a friend of mine, a Screen Actors Guild. I told him, I said, I know good and well all these guys ain't guilty of rape and all this stuff. He said, of course not. They're just trying to get into movies. They didn't get where they wanted to be, and they just told a lie. That's a fact. That ugly woman was in the jewelry store. Why would Donald Trump go in a jewelry store and rape a woman? That's stupid. And it's 20 years ago, and she can't even remember what it was about. And then he gets sued for all this millions of dollars for something somebody said. Now, what about all you people that's broke the law in the Democratic Party? You broke the law by letting all these people come in our country. You broke the law. They come in here illegal, and you accepted it and you made it legal. But it wasn't legal. Anything that Joe Biden did or Obama did, it didn't matter what it was. What was right, wrong, illegal, or what? What'd you do? Did you bring it up? Did you do a march? Where is the accusers of them? You sweep it under the carpet. You hid it from the American people, just like you hide everything else. You're hiding it from the people in there that you let get in. See, you let them get in the Democratic Party. It wasn't the votes. You helped them. Crockett didn't get in there because she's a special old ghetto. She knows ghetto slang. Did she get in there because she was smart? You helped her get in there. She's on her tail on the home ground about the Congress. AOC was a bartender when school become a congresswoman. She got in there because people voted her in because they thought she looked good. A lot of them did. I had a Democrat friend that said he voted for Marjorie Greene because she's pretty. You vote because of a race. You don't never vote for someone that's trying to do something to help this country. You're always listening to the media. You're not looking around and see what's going on. I would love to see Donald Trump just continue to have the government shut down, not for the bad. It's bad for the people that need the money, but the point is, you Democrats are a cause of it because you want to give our tax dollars, you want to give money to other countries. You see how they treated Donald Trump at the United Nations? You know how they treat him? And you know why? That free ride is over. And I'll tell you what, some of these people today, they you know, and I done some shows, TikTok, and you know, and I done some Facebook this weekend. But I never did say nothing that wasn't true, but everybody got mad. Some of them liked it, some of them did. So when you get a president in office, you go with the flow. That's what you said for us to do, us Republicans, us MAGA or white supremacists. You know, you're white, so that makes you a white supremacist. And you probably belong to the worst organization in the world. Donald Trump's a dictator. Well, I'll tell you what, dictators always get paid for what they do. They lie, they cheat the government, they do all that kind of stuff. Like you do, Democrats. A dictator and a president that says he's doing it for the people is usually a Democrat. There's crooked Republicans out there too. But you're doing it for the people. You're taking their money and blowing it on a bunch of people that wouldn't, they had a button to push, blow this country off the map, they'd do it. You see how thankful those people was that had a green card. They come over here and blowed up the towers. You see how thankful they were. You forgot about that, didn't you? They was so thankful about having the green card, they killed thousands of people, American people, innocent people. That's how thankful you are about your green card, most of you. I ain't saying all of you. You crawl under the fence, come over the fence. If I had my way, there'd be knives all the way up and down there. If you come across, you'd get cut wide open. You can say that's mean, but if somebody has to stand up for what's right, I don't say that's not wrong, but you're not supposed to come across the wall. You're not supposed to go on the wall. You're supposed to go to immigration and try to sign up to come here. You don't deserve a day in court because you come over here and they pick you up and send you back over where you come from. You have no rights. We got the our civil rights, and we got this and that. That's for people already here. That ain't for those that come over across the border, crawl down the fence. That's what that Constitution is for. And if, say, England or one of these countries was having an overflow all like we did, they'd put a stop to it in a heartbeat. It would never went that far. But see, we got a bunch of spineless pieces of crap up there in Congress that ain't worth the powder to blow their brains out. Hear that? I watched this bull crap march, and I seen old people, I seen young people running their mouth and talking how bad Donald Trump was. Well, do you know anything about Donald Trump? Well, I know the media said this and said that. Do you know for sure? Do you got any proof that did you ever, other than the media telling you that he's a criminal? Well, I mean, Donald Trump, he had 84 charges to get out of it. He got out of it. Well, you got no charges against Obama for what he done. You don't have no charges against Biden for what he done. You don't have no charges against George Bush. I mean, I know that in some ways it was a pretty good president. But the best president we've had in the last, I don't know, years, 100 years, 50 years, has been Ronald Reagan. And I got to say, Bill Clinton. I mean, because the economy was great. Our deficit was great. I have to give him credit for what he did. Other than what he did in the White House, which I'm sure all that's, if you broke in a room with a bunch of Democrats and people like that, anybody wants to turn a little boy into a girl, you know, something's wrong with their head. I tell you what's wrong. It ain't their head, it's their heart. It's full of evil. You know, you may not like this, you two, but this is a fact. I mean, I've seen filthy garbage on YouTube. What do you do about that? And our kids are watching it. Microsoft, you come up with all these games, and Facebook, what happens to that when our kids see that? Killing one another, shooting people down, killing them, blood flying everywhere. Don't you think that's a little encouraging kids to do stuff like that? And you Democrats, how much you get kickback out of that? You Republicans, or any of you that's in the White House or in the Senate or the House, where's your cut come in? You didn't get all that money from being in the White House or see, Donald Trump had the money when he went in there. See, you skimmers, you Democrat skimmers, congresswomen, congressmen, and some of you Republicans got kickbacks, didn't you? Do you think that I'm so stupid that I can't see that? People talk about the mafia, how they do this, kill people. I'm familiar with all that stuff. I've met a lot of them. Never been a part. But I'm familiar with all that stuff they do. I just don't go around talking about it. Gangs, Hells Angels, and all the rest of it. I got a friend that used to be in there. Got friends that used to be in there, Cubans. We don't talk no more because we got old. We're old. Had young kids, I had to raise them. Actually, I got a friend that's Colombian. He put his son through law school. He's a lawyer. And I understand he's a great lawyer. See my friend, you know, he's in Colombia the other day advertising his real estate. But it seems to me like the more I think about it, the worse it gets. If I were you, Donald Trump, I'd pull up a guard out of there and I'd just say, hey, New York, here you go. You ain't getting no more money from the government. And you criminals just have you a good old time with these people that wants to don't want to get rid of you or wants to keep you around. Have you a good old time. Just take everything you can take from them. But it don't come home to the rich, because the rich have guards. Back in the day, I used to have bodyguards. But I'm telling you, the rich, the people that have money, don't care about you suckers marching over there protesting. They're using you so they can take over. That's what they're doing. Like I said, you puppets on a string. Crockett, they'll see the what do you call it? The group of people. The squad. Yeah, the squad. There's one woman on there. I don't know why she don't grow her. She's bald-headed as an onion. Maybe she can't. She'd look better if she did. You know, AOC, she's a pretty-looking woman. But she knows nothing about government except one thing. Be like the rest of the Democrats. Take all you can get. And take advantage of the American people all you can do. You protesters over there, New York and Atlanta and all them places, you're just marching to get yourself in a situation where you won't get that welfare check, or you won't get that job you've been looking for. You won't. You know, I seen where that IBM bought 10,000 robots to do the job for people, replace people. That's what I seen. I'm thinking about getting one for Puck and wait on him. He's wearing me out. But I want you to know what you're protesting is going to be the same thing that's going to destroy you. What you protested, yeah. And I'd like to say this to all you American people, you Christian people, don't matter what race you are, you Christian people, pray for Donald Trump. Pray that God will protect him everywhere he goes. Pray that his health will stay good. Pray that God will put his hand around him. I ain't saying Donald Trump's a Christian. He ain't cusses. F this and stuff like that. He ain't no Christian. Christians don't talk that way. But pray that God will protect him, keep him from harm and his family. Got something to say, or Jill? I heard you breathe. Anyway, it's a screwed up country is what we got here. And it took the screwed up people and the screwed up head to make it that way. And it took hate, greed, and power hungry to put it in this situation we're in today. You know, if people don't like me, I'm going on the cable system as many as I can. I don't have to have YouTube. But it'd be nice to be on there and be treated right. I mean, I respect the fact that you don't want certain things on there, but this is freedom of speech. This is the way I feel about my country. Those men that marched, what was their reason? I think it was to destroy Donald Trump, but they said they heard all this stuff on Donald Trump on the news, so that's why they're protesting. I tell you what, Donald Trump wanted to be king. He'd buy his own island somewhere to be king. Buy his own cut. If he wanted to be a king, he got the money. He gonna buy his own property. I mean, you guys at Google and YouTube and Microsoft, and you big time ball players that get all that money, which I don't think you're worth that. You ain't worth $50 million chase a football or put a ball in a basket. You ain't worth that. There's a limit what you should get. Buying 5, 10 million homes everywhere. You can't live in but one. You can't drive all these fancy cars you got. You're going to die and leave them. Somebody else is going to sell them and get the money. And you had it all. I got a warehouse. Well, he ain't my friend. I don't like the sucker. He's got all kinds of cars, antiques in my warehouse. I don't like him. I don't hypocrite around. I don't like none of you suckers in the Democratic Party. I despise you in that Congress and Senate. I despise you because you are a burden to this country. And you know why you're a burden? Because you're all liars. You don't give a crap about democracy. You don't give a crap about freedom. All you care about is having control to say change babies to girls or murder babies and change little boys to girls. That's all you want to do. You are what God said was coming. And I tell you what, there's a lot of Christians in churches, I guess, that are saying, come on, Democrats. Keep it going. The Lord will come back sooner. Yeah, make it worse. Sodom and Gomorrah. That ain't like Buckhorn said when he went to New York City. He said he wouldn't live in New York City because it's one time and it's not a place to live. I don't have nothing against people in New York, but it's the politics up there. It's the complaining about having justice done. Michigan, all these blue cities. Did you know when you vote Democrat, that blood starts dripping from your hands? They don't only kill babies. They kill innocent people by their riots and their protesting. They kill people. They kill people's hope. They kill people's desire to have a home and be able to work and get a good job. That blood is dripping from your hands for the veterans over there that lost their lives. That blood's dripping from your hands, Democrats, and some of you Republicans. Until the next time tomorrow, I want to get into Romans 1. God bless you.
The views and opinions expressed on all Talkin Live Show presentations are those of the host and their guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of the Talkin Live TV broadcast studio, EPB Fiber Optics, or by this network or its management.
Tune into the Frugal Gourmet, the timeless culinary classic that brings elegance to your table without breaking the bank. Jeff Smith, the original master of budget-friendly cooking, shares recipes, tips, and a whole lot of heart. From savory suppers to decadent desserts, you'll learn how to create meals that taste gourmet without the gourmet price tag. Now airing weekdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Timeless Classics TV. Don't miss your chance to rediscover the art of frugal yet fabulous cooking.
Stand out with our exclusive backpack, proudly showcasing the one-of-a-kind Lamar Fashions logo. blending style and distinction into every design. Available in white or black, our backpack is lightweight and comfortable for your optimal comfort and shoulder fit. The main pocket inside can store daily necessities and contains a protective sleeve to hold your laptop along with interior pockets for storing valuables. With its classic shape, this backpack is perfect for business travel, laptop soft case, or luggage bag for short trips, and will make a great gift for any age group. The two exterior side pockets can hold your water bottles or your mobile phone. Order yours today in black or white at surplusproductsforyou.com. That's surplusproductsforyou.com.
In a world where every dollar counts, why pay full price when you can get more for less at Surplus Products for You? We connect buyers with a wide range of consumer goods and commercial surplus inventory. Whether you're looking for discounted electronics, office supplies, home goods, hosiery, or industrial equipment, our platform offers a diverse selection at competitive prices. Our user-friendly website makes it easy to find what you need, secure your payments, and get shipping straight to your door. We ensure a seamless shopping experience. New products are added daily, so there's always something new to discover. You can shop with confidence knowing you're getting value for your money. Join us at surplusproductsforyou.com and explore a world of surplus treasures today.
Hello world! Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get notifications of our upcoming broadcasts. Explore our large archive of shows. Watch any episodes you need to see again. Find our YouTube channel online at youtube.com/@Talkin Live Show, or on your Roku or Amazon Fire TV home screen. Head to the YouTube app to watch without the need of any expensive cable TV service. Subscribe today. Get ready for some Talkin Live.
Hey everybody, meteorologist Greg Majeski here on the Talkin Live broadcast channel, reminding you that this is the place to be to get your most up-to-date weather information without all that hype that goes on in traditional media as well as out there in social media world. Now, if you want to get the skinny on what's going on weather-wise here across East Tennessee and North Georgia, this is the place to be. A trusted meteorologist here will give it to you straight without scaring you to death and keeping you weather prepared and weather safe should the worst come into our area. Again, tune in here on the Talkin Live broadcast channel to get your most up-to-date weather information every Monday through Friday. Have a great day.